Call hello, I'm like Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, brothers. Y'all are coming back at you with another cold cut. I like to give our honor and glory and praise to Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. It's going to be a cold cut. Just, a lot of us say we're Israel, right? We prevail. Like, let me actually get this in the book of Genesis. For Israel, the Lord said we prevailed. But then when it comes to having enemies, we don't know how to stand before our demons, man. And our demons is our enemies. They're your enemies in the spirit. They're trying to take you down. You're trying to fight to be part of the elect, and they were set up to stop you from trying to be part of the elect. And you complain about it, but we want to win. How do you win without any competition? This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and 28. And he said, "Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed." So the word prevail, when you look it up, it means to win or to overcome. But what are you overcoming if you have no enemies, or you have nothing to overcome? We have to have enemies. They were set up to be your enemy. These spirits, the things that we go through, they were set up to be your competition. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 3. These spirits, they get off on being on man in the flesh. They love when you're in the flesh. They love when you sin and go off. That's what they love to do. That's why they were created and designed. We're going to get that in the book of Mark. Right? It's Genesis chapter 3 and verse 24. "So he drove out the men, and he placed at the east of the garden of Eden cherubims in a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life." You're trying to keep the way of the tree of life. You're trying to keep the law, statute, commandments, which give you life. But you have demons, devils, Satan and his army set up to stop the elect from keeping the kingdom of God. I mean, they love this time here on earth. They love to jump on man. They love to subdue you. They love for you to be depressed. They love when when you go off and you just end your life. And they love these spirits of anger and lust. They love when you do that. You have to overcome those spirits. So we can't complain about having enemies. You have to ask the Lord to win against your enemies. Let's go to the book of Mark chapter 5. You're asking the Lord to remove your competition, but the Lord's not going to remove your competition. The Lord wants you to win against your competition. This is the book of Mark chapter 5. And let's start at verse number 7. Start verse 6. But when he saw Yahushua far off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not." Because these spirits know who you are. They knew the Lord's spirit from the third heaven. So why did the demon ask the Lord not to torment him? Because when that parasite is not hooked onto a man in the flesh, they start to lose life. They feed off of you going off. That's their point. That's the job. They feed off you going off. So if they have no man to torment, or if they have no man to subdue, they're being tormented because they get pleasure in doing that. So yeah, these spirits they're set up to have you go off. That's their job, and that's their purpose, and that's their mission. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms. When we read the book of Psalms, when the King David talks about his enemies, it's not always talking about the physical enemies. It's talking about these demons as well. This is Psalms chapter 35 and verse 1. "Plead my cause, O Yahweh, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me." These demons fight against you. "Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for my help." This is all spiritual. "Draw out the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them." You want these angels to chase these demons, man. You want to be protected by these angels. Let's go to Psalms 34 and verse 7. "The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them." So the Lord's going to deliver you and save you from your enemies. He's not going to just entirely remove your enemies from you. How are you going to win with no competition? They're your competition. Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, please remove the spirit of lust, or please remove the spirit of covetousness. The Lord's not going to, that's why you're still dealing with the spirit. The Lord set up the battle in the first place. He want to see you win. He want to see you beat that demon to death. He's not going to take the demon out the arena. It's either you going to lose or you going to win. That's what it is. Either that demon going to lose or that demon's going to win. These are the terms and the conditions of the battle. That's what King David was praying for, that he wins, not his enemies just disappear. This Psalms 35 and verse 6. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. Think about it. If you had no enemies, how would the Lord glorify his name? If we was never enslaved into the Egyptians or all these nations, how would the Lord glorify his name if we just never had any opposition? The Lord doesn't even operate like that. Let's go to Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. You have to go to war. That's the point. That's why you're an Israelite, because you win wars, not avoid them. This is Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So the Lord's a man of war. We were set up as a nation to overcome these battles, to win wars. We weren't set up as a nation to never get into war. Right? This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 15. So King David wanted his enemies to be persecuted, and angels chased them. It's 2 Chronicles 20 and verse number 15. And he said, hearken ye, all Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou, King Jehoshaphat, thus saith the Lord unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by the reason of this great multitude. I mean, it's a lot of demons. You have covetousness, you got idolatry, you got fornication, you got uncleanness, you got inordinate affection, right? You got, you got to break in the Sabbath day, not want to grow into your beard out, pridefulness, right? You got tailbearing, you got backbiting, you got slothfulness, you got that lying demon, you got being deceitful. You have a lot of demons that come. You got depression, you got anger, you got sadness, you got a lot of wrath. I can keep going, right? But don't be afraid of that great multitude that comes towards you. Don't be afraid of all those demons that line up and try to get into your temple, as Matthew 12 says. One demon leaves and they try to bring 12 more demons, man, 7 other demons. Why does the Lord say not to be afraid? Be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but God's. The battle has never been yours. That's why in Ephesians chapter 6, it says, put on the whole armor of God. If you have the armor of God on, God is going to fight your battles, man. Right? This is not, like I said, it's spiritual. The battle is the Most High's. You have to be in the spirit for the Lord to fight your battles. Let's go to the book of Ephesians chapter 6. All right, this is the book of Ephesians chapter 6. For you to win, you have to be in the spirit. So let's go to Galatians. Before that, let's go to Galatians chapter 6. All right, this is the book of Galatians chapter 6. Actually, Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. So you have to walk in the spirit so the flesh doesn't win. These demons use your flesh. The Most High uses your spirit to win. But if you're not in the spirit, the Most High can't use you. So then these demons win. That's the battle. That's what it is. Demons want you to be carnal. The Most High wants you to be spiritual. Spirit versus the flesh. Demons use flesh. The Most High uses your spirit. If you're not spiritual, you're gonna lose. That's what it is. But the Lord's not going to remove the competition from you. The Lord's just not going to remove the obstacles out the way. It's up to you to win those obstacles. It's up to you to get over those demons. If you don't, then you're going to suffer as thou hast said. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra. That's what we got to understand. It's either you're going to lose or win. This 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which a man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Not might, not if, not you. What they got in football and basketball, you get a bye week. There's no bye weeks. You don't get a week of rest. No, you can't tempt me because the Lord gave me a bye week. I just met you, demon. I'm still trying to get built up. We still got practice. We got practice Tuesdays and Thursdays against you. And we're going to watch film on you, how you did that, brother, and how that brother handled it. And then on Sunday, I think Sunday we play. No, that's not how that works. On Sunday we play. They going to come and get you right then and there. When the Lord send them down, that's when the fight happens. You may get knocked down a little bit, but get back up. And it's time to put on the whole armor of God. Right, and it says, then he answered me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. So there's a chance of you losing. There's a chance of you being overcome. Now, if you're part of the elect, the Lord going to fight for you. But you have to prove you part of the elect. You got to win. The elect wins. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. We know what the Lord said in Revelation 22. We get the kingdom, Lord willing. But we got to fight in the spirit. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6. It's either you lose or you're going to win. But the Lord ain't taking that demon away from you. You got to win. All right, it's Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Well, what need for you? What would be the need for you to put on armor if you're not going to fight anybody? You just put on armor to not fight. You're going to be very hot. That's what's going to happen. But you need to have armor on to protect yourself, right? And it says, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. You got to have truth on, and having on the breast of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And when Satan attacks you, you got to have confidence. That's your faith, right? That's your defense mechanism. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. It's like you got to have the sword of the Spirit, which is his word. And doing what? There's more on that. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And you better be praying for your brothers and sisters and yourself as well, that you're watching, because these demons they're on the go for you. The Lord is sending them down. The Lord is sending them down. Once you overcome that demon, there's another one ready for you. The Lord had that counsel against Job. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 2. Yes, the Lord had that counsel again. You know why Job went through everything? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wanted to see that battle. It was Friday. It was the Lord. That was the battle to see Job versus these demons. Who's gonna win? The angels locked and loaded. The demons locked and loaded. Job got to maintain his integrity. Will he lose in integrity? Right? You know, and Job overcame. But there would be no book of Job if Job didn't have any competition. This is the book of Job, chapter 1. Actually, Job chapter 1 and verse 11. Job chapter 1 and verse 8. Job chapter 1 and verse 7. Job chapter 1 and verse 6. Lock it. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. That's what these demons do. They inhabit man, make him go off. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? What you think about this opponent right here? What you think about Job? Right? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. See, the Lord is setting up the battle right now. He's telling Satan, yeah, this is your opponent. He eschews evil. He fears me. He's an upright man. That's all the things you hate, Satan. What you going to do about it? Verse 9, then Satan answered the Lord and said, doeth Job fear God for naught? So Satan got a response for that. He's like, he fear you for nothing. He ain't that nice. That's what Jake say. Hey, you see that guy over there on the court? Hey, he just put it between his legs and he just, he dunked that thing. He all right. You know what I'm saying? He don't even play. That's what Satan's saying right now. Basically, he fear you for nothing. Verse 10. You got to paint the picture. Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Yeah, he ain't facing no real competition, man. Do that, Lord, and guess what? He gonna curse you. And let's see what the Lord said. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. The game started. Satan went forth immediately from the presence of the Lord. And Satan didn't waste no time. Satan didn't start stretching. He said, oh man, ooh, Lord, give me a day to prepare. Satan went immediately from the presence of the Lord. And guess what happened? Let's read the next verse 13. And there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain thy servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And immediately tribulation started happening. That's how this game works. That's how this spiritual battle works. The Lord tells these demons that report about you, they go on and they try to get you to go off. And guess what? Confound you, man. Present your sins before you. They want you to lose. We have competition. We have to prevail. For us to live up to our name as Israelites, let's read it again. You have to prevail. If you don't win, you're not an Israelite. And I'm talking to myself as well, because the definition of Israelite also means it has prevailed. We sometimes forget that part. It says has prevailed. You have to win. The true Israelites are the elect. Ain't we trying to fight for being part of the elect? Job chapter 32 and 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. We have power with God and men, and we win. We have to use our power to win, not to avoid these competitions and these battles that the Lord is setting us up with. Jake even frowned down on power in the world. You know, yeah, at school, you know, somebody, yeah, you need meet me outside at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock come, you nowhere to show. You at home in your bed under your covers, just, you know, rubbing, you know, like brother said, you rub your feet together. You say, "Ooh, I avoided that one." He thought he was gonna get me. Not me. Well, you're gonna eventually see that person, and people gonna be talking about you. Yeah, he was scared. He didn't want to fight him. You let what's his name punk you. You let what's his name punk you. I thought you was. You start losing respect. That's what they do in the spirit, man. You let that demon punk you. You let that demon just whoop you like that, and you just not gonna fight back. I thought you was an Israelite. Thought you let that covetous demon overcome you. I thought you was an Israelite. You're supposed to win. Ain't you the son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Isn't that on your Instagram, your Facebook? But brother, you've been depressed and hasn't come to a feast day in 2 months. And you depressed, talking about I want to be by myself. Well, then guess what? You haven't prevailed. We're Israelites. We got to prevail. With that, I like to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, and bid him mighty strong. Shalom.